Hello beautiful people, my name is Vendi and today I'm going to be unhauling some books. After doing a lot of thinking while I was in Boston, I realized that a lot of books on my Charleston shelves, or shelves I guess, they're kind of currently stored in the boxes behind me. I realized that a lot of them I had no interest in rereading and that I might have outgrown, and that I probably ought to pass along to readers who might enjoy them more. I'm going to keep this video as short and sweet as I possibly can, so what I'm going to do now is show you guys a time lapse of me going through these boxes, sorting out the ones I'm keeping and then the ones I'm not. I'm going to finish off with a quick unhaul for you guys. Without further ado, let's get started. Okay, and that's my books reorganized. What I have here a little bit behind me and a little bit on the floor in front of me is the books that I still need to read from this collection, which it's kind of embarrassing. I've had them for like over 18 years and I haven't read a couple of them. So that would be like Les Mis, Eldest, and just everything that is going to go into this box. I'm also going to put some of the books that I was a little iffy on getting rid of and unhauling into that box, and they're kind of like reread and reassess books, and that's mostly stuff like Fantastic Beasts or The Darkest Minds, things that I liked at the time but I'm not sure if I'd reread, because now what I have in the boxes is stuff that I am excited to get back up onto shelves and I'm excited to reread, and some of them I'm currently rereading. But yeah, no, overall I'm feeling great about the books that I've got, and now let me show you which ones are not going to be sticking around. First on the chopping block is this stack of books that I meant to get rid of, I think 2 years ago at this point, and I just forgot to. They've been sitting in a box waiting to be unhauled for a while. A couple of books from that previous unhaul, which was one of the first videos I did if you want to check it out, a couple of them made it into the reread but reassess stage, but the ones I'm gonna unhaul now as of this comb through my boxes are as follows. A giant stack of illustrated classic editions of just a variety of classics. I've read the full non-abridged versions of most of these by now, and if I haven't, I probably don't want to, so I don't really need to keep the little baby versions of these. They were super fun to read when I was a kid. I just flew through them and I felt like I was getting through classics. I didn't understand what abridgment was at the time, so I felt really cool having read like The Time Machine and The Last of the Mohicans when none of my friends were reading them, but now I kind of understand how books work a little better, so I won't be rereading these. Hopefully they'll bring the same amount of joy that they did to me to someone else. Joining them is going to be my duplicate copy of The Titan's Curse by Rick Riordan and a copy of the Spiderwick Chronicles Book 1, The Field Guide by Holly Black and Tony DiCerlizzi. Like I said, I have a duplicate of this one, and my lovely friend Noria was kind enough to send me a box set of the whole Spiderwick Chronicles, so I don't need the first one. I'm also getting rid of a mass market paperback of The Odyssey by Homer and a pocket companion to Narnia by Paul F. Ford. This is essentially like an encyclopedia of all things to do with the Narnia world. I really liked it when I was really little, but I don't think I'll ever pick it up again. I'm also unhauling my copy of The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer by Michelle Hodkin. I liked this book when I read it a couple years back. I was in, I think, my last year of high school, and I just never continued with the series, and I might finish at least the first 3 books. I'm not interested at all in the Noah Shaw spin-off, but I don't need to own it. I don't recall loving it enough to want to keep it on my shelf. I'll also be getting rid of I Am America and So Can You by Stephen Colbert. Liked it, thought it was funny, will probably never reread it. I'm also getting rid of Island of the Aunts and The Secret of Platform 13, both by Ava Ibbotson? I don't know. Again, liked them, won't reread it. I do think it's cool that the book just kind of flips. Like that's kind of sick. I'm also getting rid of one of those like early reader things, The Princess School. If I recall correctly, and it looks like I do based off the synopsis on the back, Princess Rapunzel decides to join a jousting tournament and needs to find a way to get the helmet over all of her hair. I'm also getting rid of 2 books that I read in elementary school for class, and that is The Bridge to Terabithia by Catherine Patterson. I really actually enjoy this book, but this is a very beat up copy that I inherited from my teacher, and I don't want it. Maybe it makes me vain, but like the story is still good, and if I give it to my library, then obviously other people will get to enjoy the story, but then I can get myself a nicer copy. And I will not be getting myself another copy of Where the Red Fern Grows by Wilson Rawls. The dogs die in this one, and I remember bawling in class while reading it. I'm also getting rid of 2 arcs. They were, I think, the first arcs I've ever gotten, so they're a little sentimental, but not enough that I want to keep them. The first is Masterpiece by Elise Broach. I don't think I want to keep it because I'm not going to reread it, but I do want to put it in the hands of somebody I think who might appreciate it more than I do. For similar reasons, I'm getting rid of The 100 Lies of Lizzie Levitt. This is a contemporary. Didn't really like it. Didn't like Lizzie as a main character, and as a character-driven reader, that's always a problem for me, so unfortunately I have to get rid of this one too. And after many years of it sitting on my shelf and me feeling a little iffy about it, I'm also getting rid of Eleanor and Park by Rainbow Rowell. I liked it when I first read it mid-high school. I also like Rainbow Rowell's adult novels like Landline and Attachments and her Carry On. But Eleanor and Park, fangirl, all of her YA contemporaries kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And lately, I've figured out what bothers me about Eleanor and Park. It's racist. Like, the descriptions of Park, they're, you know? No shade to anyone who likes it. With the realization I've come to about some of the content, I am not comfortable having it on my shelves anymore. I'm also not keeping Pretties by Scott Westerfeld. This is the second of the Uglies trilogy. Book 1 of this series is on my reread and reassess list, just to see how I feel about it, but I remember not liking Pretties very much even the first time I read it, so there's no reason for me to keep it now. Speaking of Scott Westerfeld, I'm also getting rid of Afterworlds, which is a standalone that he wrote. I'm also unhauling the Divergent trilogy. I've really thought about putting this one on the reread and reassess list because I just have so many good memories from it, but I remember not liking Triss even when I first read them, and if I don't like the main character, I'm not really gonna love the series. I was similarly torn about getting rid of Matched by Ali Condi, as well as Isla and the Happily Ever After. Both of these books are assigned to me and I liked them when I first read them, but I'm not interested in rereading. And if somebody is, I mean, they should have a chance to pick them up, right? Can you tell how hard I'm trying to alleviate my book guilt for like getting rid of all of these? I feel so bad. And the last book that I want to mention is my duplicate copy of City of Ashes. Now, this one's a little funny. I don't know if you noticed during the time lapse, I was rearranging the 3-book box set. So for a very long time in middle school and starting high school as well, I didn't really collect books nearly as much. I mostly borrowed them from friends in the library. So I didn't have a copy of City of Bones. My friend Kelly got City of Ashes when it came out, and I just didn't have the original Mortal Instruments trilogy for a very long time. So long that I actually got my single standalone copy of City of Ashes signed by Cassandra Clare at one of her events before getting the other 3. So what I did was I traded out this, which was the box set edition of City of Ashes, for my signed edition. So now the little publisher, rather than saying McElderly Books on all 3 of them, I think the one that I have signed is like Simon Teen or something. So they don't quite match in my box. I mean, the spine looks the same and so does the cover, but it's not all of one unit, but at least it's signed because that memory means a lot to me. And I'm getting rid of this one so that somebody else can read them because I really love these books. And I think this one might be my favorite of the original Mortal Instruments trilogy, shockingly. And there you have it. These are the books that I'm getting rid of that I've been holding on to for far too long. It is actually a full weight off my chest. I feel so much better having kind of gotten rid of them. I'm literally going on vacation today, so I can't get rid of them now, but as soon as I get back to this city, to this state, I will be taking these books, taking them to Goodwill, and just getting rid of all of them, or in the case of the ARCs, I guess donating them to my local library. That might be better, considering it's really small and could use some YA fiction. But as far as this video goes, that's it. This is my 2019 mid-year unhaul. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you like me, maybe consider subscribing to this channel. I post on weekends and I would love to have you be part of my little bookish family on YouTube. Comment down below if you think that I should reassess and reread any of these. As of now, I don't think I will, but if you make a real good argument for your favorite one, please let me know, because I do feel bad getting rid of them. So if you can give me even the tiniest excuse to keep them for a while longer, I would be very much obliged. But for now, I think I'm done here. I should probably help my parents finish up their packing and get all of this sorted away. So that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you next week when I put out the next one. Goodbye.